What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Online Crypto Market. It's Friday, the weekend is here, but forget relaxing for a second, because something massive just dropped. This isn't just another crypto update. This is the kind of headline that makes your jaw drop. One that feels like it should be illegal to even talk about. Imagine opening your phone and seeing news so big, so explosive, that it shakes the entire foundation of Wall Street. That's exactly what we're diving into today, and trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to look at XRP in a whole new light. Buckle up, because what you're about to hear could change everything. BlackRock, the world's largest and most powerful asset manager, is now heading straight to swell. And that's not just some PR stunt. When a giant like BlackRock shows up to a Ripple-led event, something massive is brewing. I've got a strong feeling we're on the edge of a game-changing announcement. Not rumors, not speculation, but the kind of bombshell that Wall Street never wanted you to hear, because it has the power to shake the financial system to its core. When BlackRock moves, the world listens. And just when you thought things couldn't get any more intense, boom, they do. News breaks straight out of the White House. Insider trading, the same corrupt game that's been quietly played for decades by political elites, is finally being targeted. Yes, that includes the big names. Sorry, Nancy, but your time might really be running out. We're watching history unfold. The old rulebook is being ripped up, and a new one is being written in real time. This is exactly the kind of seismic shift that online crypto market has been preparing you for. The rules are changing, the players are shifting, and if you're not ahead of the curve, you're going to be left behind. If you thought crypto was taking a nap, if you mistook that little dip or correction, that temporary splash of red on the charts, as the end of the road, think again. Because August is not just another month. August is the calm before a storm. The kind of market shift that doesn't knock politely. It erupts. The trend is forming quietly, but powerfully, and what's brewing could ignite the next explosive leg of this bull run. While the average investor panics, sells, and scrolls through fear-driven headlines, we here at Online Crypto Market know better. We're not guessing, we're prepared. We know exactly what's coming, and more importantly, we know exactly what we hold. This is not the time to back out. This is the time to double down, to stay sharp, and to buckle up tight. Because once you truly understand what's happening behind the scenes, once you see the institutions moving, the infrastructure shifting, and the pieces aligning, you'll never look at these markets the same way again. Welcome to Online Crypto Market, your home for no-nonsense updates and real talk about what's really happening in crypto. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button right now, and if you're one of the smart ones coming back for another dose of real insight, do me a quick favor. Smash that like button. It takes 2 seconds. It's absolutely free. And it's the easiest way to support this channel and help us crush YouTube's algorithm. Let's light it up. Now let's get into something that's honestly wild. Congress might finally be banned from trading stocks. Yes, you heard that right. And let's talk about one name we all know, Nancy Pelosi. Her salary is $174,000 a year. Not millions, just $174K. But her reported net worth? Over $413 million. Let that sink in. You telling me she earned that honestly? Because here's what we do know. Every time she dumps Nvidia, it crashes. Every time she buys back in, it jumps 20%. Coincidence? Please. She's been playing this insider game for her entire career. Meanwhile, regular investors like us are told to follow the rules and stay in line. This is why the crackdown is absolutely necessary, because no one goes from a 6-figure salary to nearly $500 million in net worth without knowing what's coming before the rest of the market. It's beyond shady, and the fact she's not behind bars? That's a whole other story we could dive into another time. But right now, let's shift gears, because while everyone's eyes are on Congress, Bitcoin is making moves. And yeah, people are panicking. But is that panic justified? Stick around. Let's break down what's really happening in the markets. People are losing their minds right now. Bitcoin dipped, and suddenly everyone's screaming that the sky is falling. But let's slow down and really look at what's happening. The infamous CME gap. Yeah, it got filled. We might see a slight drop from here, sure. But personally, I believe we're staring straight at the bottom. And even if it's not the bottom, we are so close it's basically scraping the floor. This isn't some collapse, it's a liquidity grab. A classic shakeout near the previous weekly low to scare out the weak hands. Now, based on everything I've tracked, the $115K range should have been Bitcoin's technical bottom. Right now, there's almost nothing beneath us. The next meaningful support level is hanging around $110K. So what's next? Well, today matters. The start of August matters. This first week of the month could give us the clearest signal yet of where Bitcoin and the entire crypto market are headed. But here's the real kicker. While everyone's focused on charts and daily red candles, they're missing the bigger picture. Remember when Bitcoin hit that $117K to $120K move? It did that without any shift in Fed policy. No rate cuts, no stimulus packages. That was pure, raw momentum. The market didn't wait for government permission. It moved on its own. And behind the scenes, the money supply has been quietly swelling. That's right. Real liquidity is creeping in. And whether people realize it or not, that's what's fueling this engine. Forget the noise. Forget the distractions. That swelling money supply, that's the real GPS guiding us to the next explosive move. This isn't the peak. Not even close. We haven't reached escape velocity yet. What we're seeing right now? It's just a little turbulence before liftoff. Here's the thing. When the mainstream media finally wakes up and realizes that Bitcoin doesn't need Fed stimulus to explode, that's when the real FOMO begins. We're not even close to the top yet, not by a long shot. People keep asking, is it alt season? But if you really study the past, 2017, 2021, and now, one pattern stands out. When Bitcoin gains traction independently, altcoins follow with a vengeance. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Now let's zero in on August, a month that historically plays a crucial role in market cycles. August is like the reset button for the entire financial system. Traders return from their summer breaks. Big institutions start reallocating their massive portfolios. And like clockwork, you see fresh capital sneaking into the markets while the average investor is still panicking. That panic? That's where the smart money makes its entrance. This isn't chaos. This is strategic timing. It's like getting to the beach at sunrise while everyone else is still asleep. You've already planted your flag and claimed the best spot before the crowd even realizes the tide is changing. That's exactly what's happening right now. While the masses are second-guessing the dips, the sharpest minds are preparing for the next surge. And speaking of preparation, let's talk about the ETF anticipation. There are multiple ETFs on the horizon. And we all know what that means. Institutional demand is gearing up behind the scenes. These aren't just speculative plays, they're potential game changers. Once the ETFs roll in, the game won't just shift, it'll transform completely. So whether you're holding Bitcoin or positioning for altcoins, this is the window. The real ones already know, the setup is here, and the market is getting ready to roar. Let's get one thing clear. The biggest crypto bull runs never begin at the peak of attention. They ignite in silence, in distraction, when the majority of people are looking the other way. That's exactly why August is such a critical window. Everyone's still distracted with vacations, but behind the scenes, powerful catalysts are lining up, like the long-awaited ETFs, that could unleash a new wave of institutional adoption. Meanwhile, the Bitcoin halving cycle is quietly heating up, preparing the ground for another explosive phase. And don't forget the money supply. Even though it lags 60 to 90 days, it's already sending signals that fuel is flowing into the financial engine. Summer always pulls the same trick. It's the classic fake-out season. Every year, people expect fireworks in the summer months. But the truth is, most retail investors are checked out. The result? Thin liquidity across the board. But here's the twist. Thin liquidity means even small volume purchases can move the markets quickly and dramatically. That's exactly what the smart money looks for, and that's exactly what I did yesterday. I took the opportunity to accumulate. When others are sleeping, I'm stacking, because history tells us that September and Q4, that's where the fireworks truly begin. This is why August is more than just another month. It's the moment when macro trends start to whisper. And only the sharpest investors are tuned in. Think about it. August sets the tone for rate cut speculation, inflation narratives, and institutional positioning. Whether it's the Fed hinting at policy shifts or institutions laying groundwork for Q4, the writing is always on the wall in August, but only a few read it. Some of the strongest shakeouts and reversals in crypto history have played out right here in August. This isn't coincidence, it's pattern. While retail panic sells, professionals quietly prepare. So if you're watching carefully, if you're positioning strategically, you'll know that right now is not the time to step back. It's the time to lock in. Take a good look at the charts from 2017, 2020, and even 2023. What do they all have in common? August. That's where the serious money starts moving. That's where the diamond hands show up, and where FOMO quietly begins to stir. It's not loud yet, but the momentum is building. And that brings us straight to Ripple, a key player in what's about to unfold. Let's shift the focus now to Ripple's agenda and the upcoming Swell event in New York City. If you think this is just another industry meetup, you're not paying close enough attention. The lineup of speakers and attendees tells a story, and it's one that's deeply tied to where crypto is heading next. Let's break this down. The chair and CEO of Nasdaq will be there, not a regional exec, the actual CEO. Then there's the head of innovation at Franklin Templeton, one of the oldest and most respected financial institutions in the U.S. You also have Citi's global head of digital assets for Treasury and Trade Solutions, the director of digital assets at BlackRock, and the head of Fidelity Digital Assets, all in the same room. Oh, and let's not forget the global head of crypto from CME Group, one of the most important derivatives exchanges on the planet. Now ask yourself, why are these people showing up? These aren't influencers or Twitter personalities. These are financial titans, managing trillions in assets. They don't leave their skyscrapers and pack schedules for hype, headlines, or hotel buffets. They come for one reason only: opportunity. They show up when they sense a seismic shift coming, when they know something big is building, and they want to be in position before it hits. So when you see names like BlackRock, Franklin Templeton, Citi, Nasdaq, Fidelity, and CME all making time for Ripple's Swell event, know this. This isn't about public relations or posturing. This is about strategy, about placement, and about getting ahead of the curve. While retail investors are distracted or doubtful, the real players are locking in their seats at the table. And Ripple is clearly at the center of that conversation. They're not showing up for nothing, not with schedules like theirs. When institutions of this size make time, you can bet something major is brewing behind the scenes. These aren't just participants, they're the architects of what comes next. These are the same financial giants who will reshape crypto from a $4 trillion niche asset class into a $10, $15, even $20 trillion global powerhouse. Just stop and think about that. It's not speculation anymore, it's a blueprint being drafted in real time. We've already heard whispers about the SEC pushing to move traditional markets on-chain. That alone tells you the game is changing. And now, the very institutions that run the legacy financial system, the backbone of Wall Street, are not just watching from the sidelines. They're flying into New York to speak at a Ripple-hosted blockchain event. That's the equivalent of big banks sitting front row at the birth of the internet. When Wall Street starts planting flags at crypto conferences, you're no longer early, but you're still just in time for the next wave of adoption. And let's be clear, Swell is not your average industry meetup. This is where the network effect hits critical mass. This is where top-tier asset managers, institutional exchanges, and global liquidity players begin plugging directly into Ripple's infrastructure. What does that mean? It means a surge in utility. It means explosive liquidity. It means crypto finally moves out of the shadows and into the center of global finance. And here's the clincher. Institutions don't move unless the regulatory climate is right. The fact that they're not only attending, but also speaking publicly at Swell, signals loud and clear. This is their green light. The train is leaving the station, and the biggest names in finance are already on board. This isn't just a signal, it's a declaration. The regulatory ice is clearly thawing, and the institutions aren't waiting around. They're moving early, strategically, and quietly. long before the masses even realize the door has cracked open. And let's not forget, events like Swell aren't open to the public. These are invite-only, closed-door environments where the real power moves happen, not whispered in backrooms, but broadcast boldly on stage. When senior executives from BlackRock, Citi, NASDAQ, Franklin Templeton, and Fidelity all converge in one place, it's not for optics, it's for action. This is the foundation of a new financial era. We're not talking theory. These giants are showing up to build the infrastructure, to form partnerships, and to activate real-world deployment. This isn't just vision casting, it's execution. And by the time the average retail investor figures out what's really going on, why these legacy titans are aligning themselves with Ripple, it'll be too late. Because by then, the smartest money will have already secured its position, ready to ride the next explosive wave. So don't get distracted by noise. Don't fall for the fear or the confusion. Watch what they do, not what they say. The blueprint is unfolding right in front of us, and those paying attention now are the ones who will be far ahead later. That's it for today. If you found value, smash that like button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and have an amazing Friday.